it's just taking us so long to expand. How are we doing? 5,000. But yeah, we are actually leasing the milk tanker because there wasn't one in sales, and we are producing approximately 75,000 litres of milk per game month. So I'm shipping, did it again. I'm shipping a truckload per game day. That's a lot of milk. And so I figured I can't do it with a tiny 8,000 litre tank, because I'd be running a tractor 3 times per game day, and that's a lot of time used up, just even if it's just trekking it down to the dairy, which is literally next door to the farm. But yeah, we'll get everything done today, it's just that we won't get everything done right this minute, and that's fine. Typically we have been leasing, when I need to lime a field I will lease a lime spreader, because I don't have a spreader on the farm at the moment. We have a sprayer, but not a spreader. I may lease a bigger seeder, but having said that, seeders get used very, very frequently, so I think it makes more financial sense to just get yourself a big seeder, borrow the money if you need to, and just call it at that. I could get a bigger seeder now, but again, I've only got 5 arable fields here, so why do I need a hulking great seeder just to make it quicker to plant 5 fields? Obviously, if I don't have enough time to seed all of the fields that I have ready to seed in one day, at that point it makes sense, you know what, I might profit from having a bigger seeder or a second small seeder, just so I can get the jobs done faster, or the jobs done in the time frame I really need to get them done. If you watch Virtual Farmer, his Attingham series, he was seriously stretched at the end of the first year trying to get all of the fields planted, because the way everything was set up, the timing was just, there's not enough time in all of the days in a given month to plant all of the field area that I have. But he did have a lot of field area, so I'm going to use the loader arms to push that bale out the way. We're not in that situation. We've got the time of the day to do it. We just sometimes I just get impatient, and so we're trying to control our impatience and just concentrate on doing the things at least before they need to be done. So as I said, I want to plant 2 fields of canola. I can do that on August 1, 2 or 3, no big deal. And really, you know, once we've done this field, there are no other fields on our farm that need stuff done apart from the canola planting. There are, we can do a little bit of prep on this field. If I'm planting soybeans, I don't need to worry about nitrogen levels. We limed it last year, so I don't need to worry about pH. This field really has nothing to do in prep before we put soybeans in it. And unfortunately, the tractor was facing the wrong way and too close to this edge to get that turn. Day 2 typically is the day I pick for contracts, just because it's a day that I'm not doing anything on. Day 3 I do perishable sales, but I can also consider other odd jobs around the farm. If a field needs fertilizing, I could go out and just do that quickly on that day. And we're just going to drop that exactly where I don't want it. And yeah, I don't know. We're getting there, and as we build up the number of fields, ideally, what I want to be spending my money on at the end of this year, when we sell the canola and we sell the soybeans, is buy more fields. There are some really nice fields around our farm, very good soil on them. It's just being able to afford them at the moment. And a lot of the fields are around about £100,000. And again, I'm also looking at what's up on the store. If a piece of equipment comes up, if we got a spreader come up on the store sales, I would definitely consider buying it, because we don't have one, and we do lime our fields quite regularly, and I do have the lime fields contract mod loaded, so we could lime other people's fields. If a big seeder came up, strong contender for maybe I want to do that. Okay, this tractor, we're done with straw. I need to hitch. Maybe I could do with a fix up. We'll do that tomorrow because the trailer's in the shed. I will leave this here for now. I'll take this guy round and pick up all the bales. I didn't count. I'm assuming there may be about 8. I'm not sure if number of bales is increased by crop yield or whether it's just a constant. I only have 6. I don't know, we might have 2 per side. That's kind of awesome. But now that this is done, we need to get the mower hitched up to this and make some whole crop silage. I did miss a little bit of straw there. That's awkward. Is looking like 8 bales. That's actually not bad. I'm happy with that. While this appears to be a small field, it does have a good harvest. Again, it's loam soil, so it's really good for the plants. It's got electrolytes. No, but yes, and a lot of the fields up at this end of the map, I think this canola field to our left is also a very high loam percentage, and so you know, fields of that state, just big yields. Yes, to go back, we will drive the Massey instead. So Massey Ferguson, I'm going to need the thing. What thing? I don't know. Oh, the rake. As I said, this tractor is our front loader. It's not really designed as a fieldwork tractor, however, happy coincidence, pretty much all of the mowing equipment that we have is sub 100 horsepower, and this is running 125, so more than adequate to work on the grass fields. Okay, jump over, turn off the worker, and I will take this over here for now. I should probably tip it immediately. Where's that going to tip? That's going to tip in the worst place possible. Back this up then, and I'll tip it in front of that shed. So since this yard is primarily our grass product mowing yard, because this is where the cows live, this trailer lives here. Other way. Along with the baler, the mower, soon to be multiple mowers, I think. Since we've got the John Deere can do the big mowing unit attachments and stuff. So hopefully sometime relatively soon the John Deere may become our mowing tractor. But as I've said, you know, we have the time to do all the mowing. I can do 5 or 6 contracts for baling in half a day just using our mowing equipment. So, you know, the question comes, do I need a bigger mower? No, but it would be really nice to have one. Okay, that's probably a good place to park that. And we'll go grab the mower. Oh, we're still going to need the baler, so I will leave that out. Leave the engine running. But for me, the field work is primarily the Deutz at the moment, and it's got an obscene number of hours on it, so we are probably going to need to replace or supplement our mid-size tractor sometime soon, just not right away. Not unless something with 250 horsepower for less than 35,000 comes up anytime soon. Alrighty, let's get these two over. And the other thing concerning leasing, in the past series, I have used long-term leasing because generally your income can be spread fairly well over the course of a year. The problem with Farming Sim 22 is there are some very dry periods during the year, and the last thing you want to do is have no income coming in those. When you have, you know, monthly payments on lease equipment. That said, that problem can be mitigated by having productions which are capable of producing throughout the year. We have 2 of those, the bakery, which is producing bread, and the dairy, which is producing butter. I fully expect our dairy to hit capacity sometime during the year, at which point I'm just going to have to sell the milk without processing it. what is it? The bakery can only produce about 26 pallets of bread per year, and that's kind of a big limitation on it. We can produce way more flour than that. We're producing way more flour than that on about 2 or 3 cereal fields. I fully expect us to end up with all the flour we need and to sell some excess at the end of this harvest period. But the okay, let's, can I set you going? Go. Okay. What the hell? No, stop. You know what I've done? I am such a moron. Okay, for those of you that didn't realise, the mower's set up as a mulcher and I'm a fool. Can't believe I did that. Oh, that's so stupid. Because we mulched the 2 other fields the last thing we did, and I figured I'm going to be mulching more. I completely forgot that we're going to whole crop silage the barley first. Ah well, you live and learn. Well, shows I'm not completely infallible. I need to put that sprayer away sometime. That's been sitting out since May. Oh, sorry, didn't see the car. Okay, so what was I saying? I can't remember. Too many squirrels. Oh, I'm going to beat you. Let's just say the parts have been ordered, they've arrived, and we need to get this trailer customized. So I wanted next capacity up. The next one up doesn't come with a lid yet, so that capacity and a cover, 2500, that's nice. Good, done. I will grab the John Deere because it's available for just now. What is the capacity of that trailer now? Oh, that thing's come round again. I don't want one of those. So, that's the short one. Yes. That is now 24,000 litres, and that is 30.8. Okay. I don't know that we've got 24,000 litres of barley. I suppose I could look. 24,230, and it's exactly 24. So we'd end up with 230 litres of barley sat in the silo. I'm going to park this here, and we'll detach it, turn off the John Deere, and go back to this guy. Reset the blades for mowing. Maybe I'll get it into the shed, maybe I won't. And that's the tight side. Still enough room to make it round. We want to John Deere customize. Mulcher, no. Customize, yes. One of the reasons I like this mower as a starting mower, it's got a good working width, which is one selling point, and also it has the ability to switch between mulcher and mowing. So I don't have to spend a significant amount of money on a piece of equipment that can only mulch. So one of the reasons we don't have a roller at the moment is because they're kind of pricey. Although I do have a mod downloaded which is a narrow roller. And the amount of yield boost you get from a roller versus the price at this size of farm is not particularly a financially brilliant idea. Now, if a big one comes up in the sale, I'll definitely get it. If I might get a smaller one, although we haven't started planting this yet. I could get a smaller roller towards the ends of this month if one doesn't come up in the sale, and just go with that. Okay, we'll lower that down. Now I can come back here and mulch this field anyway, so it's not a total disaster. It's a little bit of disaster that we didn't get all of the whole crop silage that we could have done. There we go. Okay, I can leave him to do the job for now. Whilst that's not attached, we head down to the store and go pick up our new trailer, which probably also looks as tatty as that one. Well, I don't care. I actually like worn out equipment. I think the oops, that was a bad. I think those red trailers, the mod, I don't know who the modder is. I could look it up. I probably will look it up before the end of this series to thank all the modders, specifically for the mods that I use in the game. But the wear and tear on those trailers looks absolutely brilliant. They get really, the paint gets chipped and worn, and the whole thing just looks so realistic. I think this tractor is at its worst paint condition, and it's still pretty close to showroom condition. When you lease a car, if you've got great big scratch marks in the paint, then you're going to have to pay for it. But if you've got little chips that are sort of smaller than a dime, that's considered regular wear and tear on a piece of equipment, and as such, they're not going to quibble. Excuse me while I take a drink. Oh, excuse me while I scare the driver coming the other way. Drinking and driving, not a good plan. So, it's really difficult to say what the plans for the coming year on this farm is at the moment. I'd like to get more fields. I'd like to get the more fields up by our arable yard, just because it makes it more convenient. Obviously, the further you have to travel with stuff, the more demand there is for that stuff to be bigger, because it's taking you 5 minutes to drive there, 5 minutes to drive back, and so you're increasing the time it takes to do the job by 10 minutes, unless you have a lot of fields in the area. This could use a service, I guess. Yeah, you can see inside that. It looks totally awesome. How do we take the lid off? I don't know. Help text. Open cover 10, that's a good number. Yeah, you can see how all of the paint at the bottom is missing. There's little flecks of paint. The sides are worn and scratched as well. The front, it just looks good. Yeah, these grain jaws are chipped, and just everything. Even on the sides here, yeah, you've got seriously chipped paint. You look at this John Deere, and it needs a clean. The paint is slightly dull, but it's not nearly as worn. You've got a little bit of wear and tear around the 3-point. The steps are a little worn. There's probably some more significant wear on the back here. But for the most part, it's just that the paint looks a little bit tired, not chipped and worn. Which for a brand new tractor is probably quite realistic. And I probably don't want to be looking out the back window, because we're going to crash if I do. Anyway, we can get this filled up. Obviously the mower's still doing the mowing thing. I can use the Massey on the rake, and I could probably start that off fairly soon. And I can also use the Massey on the baler again. Yeah, two concerns with bales. One is square bales can only be shipped in multiples of 14 on the bale collector, whereas rounds can go 24. And you need less horsepower to run the little round baler. And it's perfectly adequate for the job we do today. Now, admittedly, if I'm producing 300 bales, which I think on Lawfolds was a thing, in one cut, then yes, square bales is definitely the way to go with that. Even if I can only ship 14 at a time, or do a stack on the back of a flatbed, you could probably fit more. But yeah, that was a thing in the past where, yeah, square bale's definitely a must when you're producing an absolute obscene amount. But then again, you know, back in Farm Sim 17, Farm Sim 19, all bales were 4,000 litres. And some fields it was very easy to generate 100, 200 bales. In Farm Sim 22, you've got the variable bale sizes coming out of the standard balers. And so we're producing, our straw bales are 11,000 litres each. That's almost 3 times the size of bales in Farm Sim 19. So we're producing, we are transporting way more product with those, with that size of bales. Our hay bales, I think, are about 7,500. And so that's almost, again, double what the bale size was in 19.